This program is made possible by generous support from China City, with locations in Oak Harbor, Freeland, and Mill Creek, Washington, as well as these local businesses.
All right, let's have dessert first. We're gonna make some art, folks. Are you ready? You're gonna come up with the text, and I'm gonna give you the choreography. Don't panic, you're in good hands. All you have to do right now is close your eyes, take a deep breath, and I want you to think about and imagine a time you were with a good friend, maybe a group of friends, and your friend needed your help. What did you bring to the table? What were your most supportive qualities? I want you to think of one word and maybe think about it, your friend describing you and your best personality traits. You need to come up with one word. Would they say you were powerful? Would they say you were quiet and calm? Would they say you had a great sense of humor? Okay, just one word. Got it? Give me a thumbs up when you got it. I make my students do this too. Now we're gonna learn the choreography. Are you ready? Don't worry. Everybody go ahead and stand up. This is perfect. So I'm gonna do it first, and then we're gonna do it together, and then we'll put the choreography and text together. So it's push, clap, step, clap, stomp. So on a count of 3, we'll do it together. Step, clap, push, clap, stomp. Good. Let's just skip to putting the text of the choreography together. So on the push, that's where you're gonna say your word. We'll have a bunch of words overlapping and it'll be a great cacophony of sounds. Ready? I'm gonna count. First, I'll do it first. So you guys, for those in the back who are like a little reluctant. I'm gonna count to 3 and we'll do it all together. I'm gonna do it first. Step, clap, inspire, clap, stomp. Ready? On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Step, clap, inspire, clap, stomp. Excellent. One more time. This is final performance. Deep breath. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Step, clap, inspire, clap, stomp. Thank you. You can go ahead and have a seat. We did that. So what just happened there? So I immediately heard the volume in the room rise, maybe some nervous laughter. You had to get over judging yourself. You had to risk failing. You also had to engage your mind and body. You had to think divergently and produce and meet a deadline. We don't have all day. You had to listen and respond. All wonderful things. We made art. Thank you for that. And I have no doubt if we had more time, we would make even better, more purposeful art. We might develop a practice. We would think divergently and innovate our ideas. We would produce and meet a deadline. All valuable skills, we might agree. But I don't limit my definition of artwork to the paintings and drawings and performances that I make. Everything that I do is a process of making. My relationships, how I get to live, my students, my teaching, and of course my most precious works of art, my children. It's all art to me. And I'm first an observer of the world. I see the world in lines, shapes, forms, colors, values, probably before I realize you're even talking to me. I also, in observing, try to imagine, empathize, feel compassion, even hatred in an attempt to find meaning and purpose. I not only see the brown, but I try to become the brown. Not just only eat the banana, but imagine what the banana feels like being eaten. You know, the real huggy-feely stuff. But the stuff of empathy and compassion. The way that I observe the world was first shaped by growing up in a small town in Burns, Oregon. While I inherited a lot of privilege, I did not grow up with the advantages of wealth. Burns is a bootstrap, blue-collar community in the middle of the high desert, nestled next to the Paiute Indian Reservation. It is here I first learned the value of hard work, resiliency, and love. Thanks, Mom and Dad. At age 18, I dropped out of college and entered my life as a homeless girl. I learned how to panhandle, dumpster dive, squat, find a safe place to sleep in the park. I discovered all-you-can-eat hash browns and coffee, and I also got my first taste of humanity. While squatting in the U District in an abandoned house, I met a boy, not more than 12. And even at that age, he was hard-edged, eyes sunken, clearly addicted to heroin. Yet my first night there, he gave me the only blanket in the house. It was a gift of compassion and kindness and welcome that I couldn't imagine I earned or deserved. In a 2-second exchange, he shattered my naivety. To be young again. He shattered my naivety and entered shades of gray into my world. Here was a boy giving me a gift that I just was overwhelmed by. It was basically his version of love. So, try not to cry. Step, observe, clap, stomp, transition. So I eventually worked my way very hard out of being homeless and got married, went back to college, and got my master's in teaching. During my 3 years of teaching in Lagos, Nigeria, I saw extreme poverty and extreme wealth, contrasting miles of shanty towns next to armed, gated compounds, and it was overwhelming. The way that I viewed the world had changed. I realized, as an American, I get to have everything I need, and I certainly don't need everything I once wanted. So I decided and vowed to simplify my life into roughly 3 basic things, and that's observe, do something, and have fun. If I'm doing that, I think I'm gonna be okay. Teaching is my do something. I view kids as artistic works in progress, pliable and changing, yet forgiven and worthy. They are perhaps my most challenging collaborative artistic process. So much of their lives and process are formed by something else, and I have to trust that I offer something they need or want or are ready to hear and witness their transformation. I sit and observe and listen attentively as the student recounts every moment of being shot. He shows me his bullet hole wounds and how they itch and ache, and one narrowly missed his heart. He can't sleep at night, and he is overwhelmed by all the work that he missed, work that I try to rationalize and justify in my mind. He perks up as the sirens of an ambulance go by, a sound that I barely even notice or hear. What do I say? What am I supposed to do? I try to offer something of a blanket, and we paint together for an hour on my prep. And I ask him afterward, how does he feel? And he says, I forgot about it for a while. And that is enough for today. Do something. In a system that is inherently flawed and geared with little of their interest or needs in mind, I tried to find words to explain the world of lights and darks, to make a space that is safe to see the grays and risk transforming. I asked my students to observe who they are and past the stereotypes that are imposed on them. A freshman girl, she is painfully shy and quiet, yet thoughtful and focused in her artwork. A quiet tiger. At first, she asked permission to do everything. And after 5 months of working together, I get her to assume the answer is yes. And she claims it as her own. We talk about careers in the arts, and I notice that she smiles more. Christmas, her sole provider and father, is diagnosed with terminal cancer. And later, I find out that she's been suddenly evicted and is living somewhere else with an aunt. I saw a piece of myself in her, and I hope that the piece that I saw doesn't disappear too. Have fun. I trust in the artistic process, that they will transform, and that somewhere down the line that they heard that they are worth something and that someone loved them for being a human being. I draw on that trust when I ask them to create with me. As a teacher, I have conversations all day, every day, about thinking divergently, about coming up with unique, creative solutions to problems. A skill they will not only need in their projects, but they will need in their lives. They will need in their lives. Oh, this is the best part. It's like, I focus on the time that I get with my students and what is amazing about them, not what I cannot change. So in my world of observing and making art by doing, you can see why having fun is equally as important. Being the banana is not easy. Fun is serious work. So I decided for me that fun is a priority, not just an afterthought. So I really try to ask myself every single day, how is what I am doing fun? And actually answer the question. Obviously, teaching and making art for me is fun, but can taxes be fun? Can writing a will be fun? The popular go-to answer is anything a bottle of wine or cookies won't fix, but maybe you could have a will Tupperware party. Right? Fun is, after all, the point, right? It takes some divergent thinking to come up with unique, creative solutions. I believe that being engaged and present in the artistic process is vital to our health, like eating well and getting exercise. It is necessary and important in not just young people's lives, but all of our lives. We all have an emotional palette that we're making. We're all painting our lives with values and colors, lights and darks. Why not have fun doing it? So, speaking of fun, are you ready for your final performance? Oh, you're not off the hook yet. So, same choreography, only on the out push, we're all gonna say wow together. So, stand up. Okay, ready? On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Step, clap, wow, clap, stomp. Thank you for making art with me. And I hope you had fun too.